Today is Wednesday, June 24th, and Yankees baseball is on its way back to the Bronx. Let's do it. Let's talk Yanks. Music ain't working. Music ain't working. Oh. Music's kind of working in a roundabout way.
Stat lines, steaming hot takes. Your Yankees news with these two fine.
It's officially working the real way.
Talkin Yanks. Talkin Yanks with old JOMBOY. JOMBOY and Jake. Talkin Yanks with old JOMBOY. JOMBOY and Jake.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Talkin Yanks. My name is JOMBOY. This is Jake. We're in the Bronx where baseball will be played soon. We're excited about it, so we're doing an episode earlier than usual. The Friday episode is now the Thursday episode, which may even be the Wednesday night episode because we're excited, Jake. We're excited. And before you say anything, if you're one of the people that right now in your brain you're thinking, why are they so excited? Corona's just going to come back, and baseball's not going to happen. This is so stupid. Shut your butt for 2 seconds, and we're just going to be excited. You may be right. I don't care. Allow us to be excited. Moving forward, the rest of this show, we're going to act as if baseball's coming back. How are you doing, Jake?
Baseball's back, and it's better than ever. Hey now, baseball's back. Boom. Doing well, Jim. Baseball is back, as you stated. For now, Corona is the only thing.
I want you to pour me something.
No.
I want you to pour me something.
No. We had this talk. I'll pour you some in a little bit.
Thanks.
Good podcasting. Baseball's back, man. It's exciting. We can actually talk some Yankees baseball stuff. The only thing in the way right now between owners, players is the Rona, which is, up for every league right now. So,
literally everything.
The next month is going to be very telling. We're getting new reports about NBA players getting stuff. MLB players have it and are going to be getting it. I think the only thing that can really deter things is like if a whole team were to get it. And, that's a scary thought and can happen easily because this thing is spread pretty easily. So, it'll be interesting. I'm sure, we'll probably see some bad takes about guys getting corona and people being mad. And as long as they're not out at like a nightclub or something, it could be okay. We'll see if we get a Rudy Gobert situation or anything. But who cares? Baseball's back. Spring training 2.0 starts July 1st.
Right here at the JOMBOY Media headquarters.
In the Bronx. And with the regular season supposedly starting the 23rd or 24th of July. And it's exciting, man. We're about exactly a month out. And there's conversations to be had about the New York Yankees and this new 2020 Major League Baseball season.
Charge.
Pro.
I'm trying to log into the email where I find out the new patrons so I can shout them out, but we're like locked out of this account.
Shout out patrons. We got a good amount of people live right now.
If you're able to find them since you have access to the email. Oh, it's on your laptop though? Never mind. If you signed up for Patreon, we will get you next week.
Next time.
We'll get you next time because I didn't get it ready. All right. Well, Jake, here's what this episode's going to go.
Okay.
We're going to talk about the new format, what baseball is going to be this year, and then we're going to apply it to how it affects
the New York Yankees. That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, right?
I get it.
Step one, they're going to be playing at Yankee Stadium. Some people have tuned this out.
Half the games.
30 of them.
Yeah.
Some people have tuned out the entire process.
Sure.
That's news to them.
Yeah.
They're playing at their home stadiums. There's going to be a 60-game season. Now, have you heard anything about spring training? Because initially we heard spring training was just going to be inter-squad games. But then I read something about spring training games, like they're going to play other teams, which I can't imagine.
If I had to guess, maybe they set up something with the team's closest opponents or something. Like you could do a Yankees-Mets thing pretty easily. I don't know. I haven't heard anything on that. And I don't know. I was gonna say I could go either way on it, but you kind of need to see an opposing team.
You can do an exhibition game, kind of? Because they're going to need to do... I feel like they're going to need to do a dry run.
I mean, you just need to see, like, an opposing pitcher. You can't see... Like, you just can't look
What
out
if they
at Clark
just send...
Schmidt
What if the
like,
Mets and the Yankees just send
just trade
pitchers?
a pitcher?
Yeah, not...
Be fun. Be fun.
It could do that. I don't know. So I don't know how spring training's exactly going to work. I know all the reporters have to do Zoom sessions. That blows.
Yeah. They lose the personal touch that we have also been losing. So
All right, so 60-game season. What do you want to do first? The schedule? The schedule breakdown is kind of interesting to me.
Sure.
The Yankees will play 10 games against each division opponent. So 10 games against the
Orioles.
Red Sox. 10 games against the
Blue
Orioles.
Jays.
10 games against the Blue Jays.
Tampa.
10 games against the Rays. So that's 40 games right there.
40.
And someone said they might do 2 5-game series, but that's not what they're doing. They're doing 3-game sets and 2-game sets to get us there. So maybe a 4-game set and whatever. That's how it works.
Sets.
Series. Out of baseball brain.
Sure.
So that's exciting. Then there will be 6 games against the Mets.
Seems like a 3, a 4, and a 3 would work.
3, 4, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets you to 10.
6 games against the Mets.
The Metropolitans.
Probably because they didn't want to lose. Like if they wanted a series that each team can host. Is why I'm guessing they did these rivalry games.
Rivalry / probably closeness.
Yeah, proximity. But like they could have spread out the NL East evenly. But yeah.
Yeah, but I think proximity was the biggest factor there.
Yeah, I also think there's no fans.
If
so
they
what
did
I'm
like the
saying
Braves, you're just doing extra travel.
Yeah, I guess proximity. But like the Mets and Yankees are the closest. A lot of A's, Giants, a lot of them are still travel.
Yeah.
So it didn't save a lot. But 6 games against the Mets, which leaves 14 games to be played against the rest of the NL East. The Braves, the Nationals, the Phillies, and the Marlins. So 2 of those teams the Yankees will play 4 times. And 2 of those teams the Yankees will play 3 times. So fingers crossed we get the Marlins 4 times. And
I want the best of the best, bro.
The Nationals.
Iron sharpens iron.
Nationals, Braves 3 times each. Marlins, Phillies 4 times each. Would be the easiest strength of schedule on paper.
How about this? I'll meet you in the middle.
Meet me in the middle.
We want the Phillies 4 times each
dance.
anyways because they're the NL
Fun.
Yankees.
Yeah, we want to see those guys a lot.
So Phillies are there. And then, Phillies and Marlins because we got to see Jeter, bro.
Yeah.
So.
Those guys 4 times each.
Done.
So you're with me. Yeah.
Scheduled it. I just scheduled it.
The East situation
Yes.
has perks and it has bad things.
Okay.
The perk, no 10 o'clock starts.
Yeah?
No, the only 8 o'clock start will be like national, like an ESPN.
Yeah.
But every game will be in our time zone.
Yeah.
And travel is the easiest for the teams in the East.
Yeah.
The least amount of travel because, Philly, Boston, Mets, Yankees, who else am I? Baltimore. There's like a hub right there.
What? Nats.
Nats. Now,
Maine, the Lobsters.
the Jays, the Maine Lobsters, the Jays may not even play in Canada because
Right.
Canada might say, we don't want you.
Right.
So they may go down to somewhere in Florida. But then they also were saying they might take people out of Florida because Corona's bad there. So we don't know all that yet.
Man, that's tough. That's tough for the baby Jays.
Well, it's an empty stadium anyway.
An empty stadium's an empty stadium, but you still...
What would they do? Would they find like a
Need
minor
some
league? Like what if they
comfort
do
of home?
like Trenton Thunder?
I mean, in theory, they could do that. But again, that sucks.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't suck, but it sucks.
No, it sucks because their home clubhouse now sucks.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe you just find the nicest. I don't know how they're going to do that. But that's the good news is that, the West still has to travel a ton through 3 time zones.
Yeah.
The West has a ton of traveling, and they have to play in 3 different time zones and all of that. The bad news is we have the hardest division. Now, the Yankees are part of the They are one of the
Part of the
main
problem.
teams that make it hard.
Arguably the
I
number
saw-
one part of the
I
problem.
saw a lot of Yankees fans like, fuck, the Yankees division is really hard. And it's like,
Right.
well, but
If
it's
you
'cause-
traded the Yankees in any other division, you'd say, fuck, that division's pretty hard.
Yeah, because the Yankees
Yeah.
are one of the teams that make it hard. But it is the toughest division.
Yeah.
There's only 3 teams that finish below 500
But like what you're
last
saying,
year.
I mean, if the Yankees were in the West and you swapped them with
And no, the West
any
is
team
the,
who
the
wasn't
West,
the Dodgers, you'd be like, oh, the West is fucking gnarly.
the West is pretty bad.
West is, I think it's better. I think it's
Central-
better than you think.
the
Central's got the weakest.
Weakest.
'Cause they've
the
got
Central
the
only had
bad teams.
3 teams that finished above 500 last year, I think, something like that.
Something like that. The Central's the weakest.
The Twins, once
Easily.
again, have the easiest path.
That NL Central's pretty good. The good teams in the NL
They got
Central
better.
are on the Twins level.
They got better. The last year,
Yeah.
like they had the least amount of teams that finished 500 last year. But the Yankees, because the Nationals are no joke. Braves are no joke. Mets pitching is no joke. Phillies offense is no joke.
No jokes today.
Yeah, it's not a joke podcast. The Rays are fucking good.
Rays are really good.
And the Red Sox actually am counting out. They'll be competitive.
Yeah, there's a new bucket of teams, and I think Red Sox fans would say this is fair. I mean, there's a new bucket of teams that are good that weren't built for 162, but teams that could put together 2 months. I think the Red Sox, a lot of those NL West teams I was just referencing, the Phillies. When you and I, on Talking Baseball, we kind of deep dove into the Phillies, you look at their pitching staff, and it's not built for 162. It's Nola, it's Wheeler, and then you hope Arrieta's good, and then there's a couple young guys. But, if you have 2 guys at the top of the rotation, like a Nola and Wheeler, and they put it together for 2 months, then whatever the rest of those guys do, you kind of have a rotation. So that's kind of the interesting thing. And, you can say that for Boston. I mean, if Erod gets going and that offense gets going and, say, Evaldi's healthy or something, like, the Boston Red Sox have a much better shot in 60 games than 162. And that's not sour grapes or anything. That's just honest. That's pretty much every team in the league.
Yep. Good update by our Patreon chat here. The Jays AAA is in Buffalo, and that might be doing that.
Seems like an option.
You fill me up a little bit? Okay. Jake, can I play a game with you? Now, I'm playing so many games that I would hate.
We got to get the Saw Let's Play a Game on the soundboard. Write that down.
Okay.
Let's play a game.
Let's play a game. That was a knockoff sequel.
Those movies were good.
First one was very good.
I'm guessing they wouldn't age well, right?
First one was very good. Second one was okay. They got bad quick.
Yeah.
But I want to play a game.
Sure.
That I would usually hate, but I'm so excited.
Perfect.
I'm so excited to do this.
Huge.
And I think you might not like it, but can we just do it, please?
Let's just do it, please.
10 games against the Red Sox. What are we happy with? 7-3, 6-5, or 6-5, 6-4.
You just want to be above 500.
So let's do 6-4.
Yeah.
Orioles 9-1. I'm being honest. 8-2.
You want 8.
Okay.
You want 8. Means can get you, and you can lose another game.
Okay. Jays
Above 500?
6-4.
Yeah.
I want 7.
You asked me a question. I gave you my answer.
6-4. Rays. They're good, but the Yankees have to take care of business when they play
5-5 is my minimum.
Okay, we're doing minimums.
Those are my minimums.
Okay, so that's so the Mets, 6 games, 4-2.
You want 4.
You want 4.
You want 4.
Okay. Say we have 4 against the Marlins. You want all 4? You want 3?
You want 3.
3 against
any
the Marlins.
team can lose on a given day.
4 against the Phillies. You want 3?
You want 2.
2. Shit, Jake.
I mean, you just got to handle the bad teams. We normally do this over the length of a full season, and
We don't. Yeah. Okay. What about the 4 against the
I mean, we're going to have a losing record against one
someone?
of these
Yeah.
teams.
What about the Nationals? Say 3 against the Nats. 2.
2. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. This exercise got sour.
Is this a Yankees podcast or
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
No, we're beating everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see what this adds up. 2 against the Braves.
Your goal is to split.
It's only 3 games.
God.
You want 2? You want?
How about this? Braves and Nats, you need 4 total. Or no, you want 3 total.
Okay, so we'll go 1 and 2 against them.
Yeah.
So that's quick math gives us 5 plus 8.
This is
12,
tough.
17.
Sorry, everyone.
17 plus 6 is 23. That is right.
Okay.
I think. 23 plus 6 is 29. Plus 8 is 37.
Jesus.
Which is like a 90. It's like a 100-game season.
We got there.
That's how they got to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Do we have an over-under on the Yankee season yet? I mean, it's probably oddly close to the number we just had. It's probably 38 to 40.
Yeah. Well, like they won 100 the last 2 years, right?
Right.
So,
added Gareth Cole.
Yeah. That's a 617 winning percentage.
Wow.
So 60 times
Podcast.
0.617. That means they would have to win 37 games.
Okay.
That's the equivalent to winning 100.
So yeah, I'd guess the over-under in Vegas is probably 38.
Whoa. I was going to say 36.
I could Google.
Just because of crapshoot season, I think they might play it. I don't know.
Tough to say. How'd that segment feel for you? You really got going there.
Well, it was fun because we just had them winning every series. Like, they have to lose. Someone's going to beat them in the series.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't work like that at all, is what we're saying.
Yeah, no, that's best case.
Like the Yankees could go 3-7 against the Blue Jays, but they could go 8-2 against the Rays.
I think the Blue Jays, now that they're going to be playing in Buffalo, we had them winning 37.
Don't know that they're in Buffalo. We got rumors.
That was pretty good by us.
It was all right.
We nailed it. So, since we have them, if the Blue Jays if the Blue Jays aren't playing at their home stadium, I have them out, not into it,
Okay.
just out.
I've got a line from Vegas.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It says here that it's 38.5.
I've got 37.5.
So our
The
exercise
formula worked, yeah.
we just did was fantastic.
Yeah.
I think it's
Turn yours down a tiny bit.
I think it's a lot like where we talk about like you want to have all 500 months and 2 good months. Kind of the same thing we just did.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're geniuses.
How many weeks are in the season now? 10?
60 plus 10 divided by
Oh, no.
7. 70 divided by 7. 7 weeks?
Definitely not 7 weeks.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I think it's 10 weeks. I like BBD going the month route about it, but I think we have to turn it to weeks for this. So if there's 10 weeks in the season, I mean, you have 2 good weeks, and then you play 500 the rest of the time. Like, you're good.
It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
Losses are going to suck.
Losing streaks are going to be...
I don't think you can lose 3 in a row.
I mean, you can.
You can.
You absolutely
They're going to
can.
feel awful. Remember
going
in
to
a
be a bad time.
162-game season last year when the Yanks lost 3 in a row? It happened like twice, right? 3 times?
Something
Remember
like
how
that.
panicked everyone got?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's what's going to be tested. I mean, fans' patience, or 2-game losing streak into one of the 6 off days or something like that. I mean, that's where it gets, yeah.
You see the chat?
Yeah, a lot of math fun.
Math pod intensified.
Became so much math. Walked right into it.
We did good, though.
Great.
Besides when I landed at 7-week season.
Yeah. Confirmed.
Well, what I did is I divided it by 10, but there's only 7 days in a week, not. I did 70 divided by 10 instead of 70 divided by 7.
Yeah.
So it was my bad.
Did good.
Okay, so that's how the season plays out.
So you've already got the season.
Where
What else do the people need?
Yanks are winning 37 games. The roster. The roster is very interesting.
The roster is very interesting.
Here's how it will work. 60 players in the Yankees organization will be involved this season.
You've got 60 jelly beans. I'll help with the math side of this.
We need good examples.
Yeah.
You have ones that aren't
No,
fully ripe
you're
yet.
not in the jelly beans.
Yeah, there's...
You're just on the numbers.
Okay.
I'll give them the jelly
Okay,
beans.
30 of them will be on the active roster.
30 of those jelly beans are live.
Ready to be eaten.
Yes.
30 will be just a practice squad.
30 are in a glued shut jar.
They're calling it a taxi squad.
Yeah.
3 of the glued shut jar escape and travel around with the other 30. So 33
Yes.
players are active in the clubhouse on the road.
Yes.
So there's 30 guys on the roster that can play every single night, and then there's 3.
For the first 2 weeks.
There's 3 like the football players that don't get to dress today, and they're sitting in the
Yes.
stands in their suits. Those are 3 guys. Now, one of those 3 guys has to be a catcher.
Catcher.
So I have it as Iannetta or Kratz as the 3rd catcher, chilling in the roving taxi squad.
Yeah, I wonder. You and I were joking about this because Kratz's life has been a taxi squad. Yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, is it who fits in with the guys in the crowd best? Because it's probably Kratz, right?
Iannetta might be like, I don't want to do that.
Ianetta's kind of
They
a
don't
better
get
pro.
They don't get paid. So like I can see Iannetta and Kratz both being like,
They're not getting paid at all. They have to be getting paid something.
I think they get the minor league $400 a week thing.
Jesus
which is nothing
Christ.
for Kratz and Iannetta.
Yeah, buy me dinner.
I don't know. Maybe if they're traveling, they get a different thing.
Maybe they get
Probably
travel
not.
stipends. Yeah, there's got to be some loopholes. there or
Baseball's not
something,
exactly
but-
taking care of their players.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Kratz or Iannetta, you'd rather I'll stay with the 30 and hang out in practice and live my own life.
Right.
And when one of the first 2 catchers get hurt, then you can bring
I
me
don't know.
up.
Traveling with the boys, man.
Kratz is 50.
He's not 50.
Minus something.
Rumors busted.
38.
Okay, so that's the jelly beans for the first 2 weeks.
For the first 2 weeks. After the first 2 weeks, the roster goes down to 28 guys.
2 of the jelly beans that got to play are either going to go to the 3 jelly bean travel crew that can't play, or the 30
I wonder
that
if you
weren't
get-
allowed to travel.
Yeah. I wonder if you get demoted from the 3-man taxi squad.
Well, in this, I mean, we'll get there with the finale of the jelly beans, but it's going to be interesting how injuries play out too, because if that just like just natural attrition of the jelly beans.
And then after the 2 weeks after that, so 4 weeks into the season. So for the last 6 weeks, it's a 26-man roster?
Yeah, so I think they did it like 15 days, but we're calling it 2 weeks, which, again, it makes it a month just easier kind of. But, yeah, for basically the second half of the season, it's going to be 26-man roster, what this season was supposed to be.
So I did my 30-man roster yesterday.
Yeah.
And I don't even agree with it. I was just
Sure.
trying to make it because I think they're going to take all the arms they can. If they eventually have to get down to a 26-man roster, then they might just roll with the 4-man bench, and those 4 extra arms for the first 2 weeks may just be pitchers because that's why what they're doing there anyway. And if you're being honest, the 5th guy off the bench, how often are you really going to use him? We're not having any double headers.
Right.
And we're not having extra innings.
I agree.
So
I agree and don't necessarily think that's wrong. That could very well happen. They probably have one more hitter, just because I do think the Yankees early on are going to do Yankee rest day stuff. Like they've proven, there's everything they've shown us for the past 2 years is that they will give guys rest days and mix it up.
I agree, but
So for the first 2 weeks, I think they carry one extra bat.
So a 5-man bench.
Yeah.
So a 5-man bench is, with everyone healthy, which it's not going to be. Prepare yourself for some injuries in spring
Right.
training and some updates and stuff. And
The classic Jakey, things will take care of themselves.
but right now, everyone's healthy. They said Judge is ready to go.
Yeah,
We heard word from a birdie that he's swinging.
not Greg Bird.
Yeah. So the Yankees 30-man. If it's a 5-man bench, you have Judge, Stanton, Hicks in the outfield. You have Gary behind the dish. You have Gio. You have Glaber. You have DJ. You have Voit. And then let's put Andujar as DH, Gardy as DH. Let's just
Sure.
put Gardy there. Because you know he's not in limbo at all. Where Andujar, maybe. But I don't think he is either.
Okay.
So let's just do Gardy's on the bench. Higgy's on the bench. That's 2. No, I put Gardy at DH. Higgy's on the bench.
Weird way to go at it.
Andujar's on the bench. Talkman's on the bench. And then the last spot, or there's 2 spots, Wade, and then it's Clint, Ford, Rosera,
Right.
Herrera.
Herrera.
If they do 5, which I'm not convinced they will. But I
Right.
mean, they may for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I think some of our listeners probably aren't 40-man stuff. We've been doing a little back and forth on this. I feel like they're still going to do an addendum or something because Like, you mentioned Herrera there, but he's not technically on the 40-man. But there's also the Yankees have these. The 40-man roster was created so teams couldn't hoard prospects, so you have to keep some of your younger guys on there. So, like, Miguel Yajuri, he's,
Miggy
not the biggest Yankees prospect, but he was an arm they protected and they didn't want to lose. He's not Major League Baseball ready, but he's on the Yankees 40-man. So I don't know. I mean, in reality, it really does become like a health thing. Like, guys want dudes playing pro baseball that know where the ball is going and things like that. And the Yankees had these non-roster invites, the David Hales, Dan Otero, and guys like that you wonder if there's going to be an addendum, like a 41st man on the roster, or if maybe someone goes on the IL, almost 60-man IL rules, because I think you're going to be putting teams in some weird positions if the Yankees have to go to
get a DFA people. It's like kind of shitty.
I feel like we're still going to have a slight addendum. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's an extra 40-man. I mean, if we're having expanded 30-mans, you think you should expand that to the 40-man a little bit? I don't know. But then again, you're talking about 2 weeks, essentially.
So that's why I don't think it... Yeah.
So it does get a little tricky. But, I mean, dude, we're talking about the Yankees, the team with arguably, and I think this is an honest non-Yankees bias statement, the most depth in baseball after the injuries they went through last year. So, I mean, start thinking about other teams' 30-mans. I mean, think about some of the guys that they could potentially be putting on the field as a pitcher. And I that's the whole thing. That's why guys don't mind pitchers using pine tar. Is it because they can control the ball better?
Yeah, I have a correction in my brain to make.
Sure.
You're not going to appreciate this, but I need to rearrange my brain, and some people might help them.
Sure.
I think you have to put Gardy as one of the starting outfielders and Judge or Stan as a DH.
Yeah,
and
that's
a much better.
Why I was really weirded out when you did that before.
Me too. I was I fell into it by accident. So that leaves the bench as Higgy, Andujar, Talkin. I think those three guys are locks.
Locks.
I think Wade's a lock, especially with the extra inning rule that we'll get into later.
For everything we know with this the new season before this season, and now the new season with COVID, Wade is a lock.
So that means in the first 4 weeks, Clint and Ford and Herrera may be involved. But when it gets to a 26-man, if they stay healthy, which they won't, so this is all for naught, but it's exciting. If they stay healthy after the first 4 weeks, Clint, Ford aren't involved.
Yeah.
I don't think Clint's involved anyway. Even if they go to a 6-man bench, I don't see why Clint would be involved.
As of now, and injuries are going to happen.
Yeah, injuries rob him because he just doesn't provide much.
But
off
what
the
you're
bench.
talking about, and people have talked about your relationship with Clint.
I'm not even. This is strictly
no. I know, but this is because let's think about everything we just said. Picture that 3-man taxi squad. So you've got a crew of 3 guys who are going to be traveling with the team, who aren't playing baseball. And right now in my head, I think Clint would be on that. And that kind of sucks, especially, a young kid with his current headspace and what he's done. So, injuries should sort that out and, maybe he finds a way. Or, I wonder, would they travel with someone else to keep Clint at home so he doesn't travel with the team? It leads to some really interesting conversations, which will probably get shut down because of injuries anyways.
Yep. The 5 starters is Cole, Tanaka, Paxton, Happ, Gumby.
Yep.
Now, I do still agree with how I would do it would be have Cole, Tanaka, Paxton, try to stretch them out as best you can. Happ and Gumby, start them. But if they get into any trouble, instantly change, they'll have a piggyback ready to go. They'll have Sessa, Laza, King. They'll have someone ready to go quick.
Yeah, this is another interesting conversation. I'm excited to talk about it because it's baseball. And I saw this going on in some of the Talkin Yanks Twitter chats, is that, yes, it's going to be this 60-game sprint, and, it's going to be wild. And there's going to be days when you empty the bullpen and empty the dogs and say, let's get a win.
Especially early. That's why I don't think they're going to carry more than a 4-man bench.
But
or 5-man
at the
bench.
same time, having starting pitchers go deep into games is going to be big.
Huge.
I mean, when you start thinking about the 60-game season in the sprint, I mean, compare it to a playoff series where we saw the Yankees bullpen get worn out in a 6-game playoff series. So the more you can keep them fresh, and that's why I personally think to start the year, Hap and Monty are going to have more leash, at least those first 2 to 4 weeks, is because if they
but the Yankees are 5 in flight already. Like, they were 4 in flight at the start of the season.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think pitch count is almost going to be more important the first 2 weeks of the season. Like, I think
definitely.
I think the first row of starts, you're probably going to see the number at 75 for almost everyone. I think that second row of starts, it's probably 85, 90. Third, 95, and then I think once you're there, then I think you start making more business decisions. But I don't really think the Yankees are going to start operating, do or die until that first month of the season is over.
That scares me.
It does scare you, and I think there are going to be a couple Yankee Twitter days where everyone's screaming, but, we've been joking about Whippy J. Happ, Monty, but I think it really does make a it will make a big difference this season if the Yankees in the first 2 weeks, let them go and try to get out of a 4.1 innings pitch, 3 earned run start and see if they can get to 5, if they can get to 5.5. Or you can't be pulling those guys 3 and 4 innings in the full season.
But I think that Hap getting stretched out by the playoffs doesn't matter. So if Hap's struggling like he did last year, pull the plug, find something new, mix and match.
But then, you can burn out the team before the postseason. If you're pitching guys every other day.
You can, but they did this last year with like Nestor and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, you can't be like, oh, Hap's going to figure it out. Yeah, 4th start in a row where he was bad, but you got to eat this one, Hap. We're not going to be able to do that, man.
Yeah.
And the 3 are what you need for the postseason. So,
no juice balls and J. Happ's whippy, so stop worrying about him.
Super whippy. I'm just thinking I'd be quick with that.
And the long man role is going to be wild, and you wonder, Mike King or Johnny Lasagna in a 3-inning role this year could be hyper important.
You got Chapman, Britton, Ottavino, Canely, Chad, Holder, Lasagna, Sessa, Heller, King. I mean, Schmidt's not on the 40-man, but if they want to bring him up, Davey, because now that I'm taking only, in my mind, at most a 5-man bench that first week, you just almost bring every reliever that's healthy.
Yeah, and I think that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
But that'll be interesting once they start making the roster shrink down. Let's say it came down to a Ben Heller and a Mike King. Heller it's actually got really good major league numbers so far. But if Mike King looks okay and the fact that he can throw 70 bullets on a given day and Heller's max might be 30, you could see that being a difference when they make the first round of cuts or something like that.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting.
Will be.
The IL is just 10 days no matter what.
And I thought there was a COVID caveat in there that was like, if you get COVID, it's just when you can come back.
Yeah, they have to take their own temperatures, and they have to take temperatures before they even enter the stadium. If they're over 100, they can't enter the stadium. I'm guessing what happens, and the taxi squad guy can play right away. Like, if that happens, it has to be like, all right, here.
That's why they have the taxi squad.
It's super interesting. There's some other stuff that I just read today that the Mariners GM or some GM went on an interview and said that the 30-man taxi squad, so the 30 players, don't expect that to be all the AAA guys.
No, they're going to have all their top prospects to make sure they're in shape.
Austin Wells is probably going to be there. Guys like the Martian, is he even involved? Are going it's more guys that they value than guys they think are going to help in 2020.
Right, and this is maybe this will segue us into the trade deadline a little bit, which surprised us the other day. Surprised a lot of the baseball community because we thought with COVID, it kind of came this dirty idea to make someone trade or move halfway through the season. And then all the Twitter people kicked in and were like, well, they probably wouldn't move their family for 1 month. It's like, well, what if they've got 2 years on the contract? Anyways, the harder part with trading is normally a group of prospects would be traded for a starting pitcher at the deadline or whoever it may be, and those guys aren't going to be playing. So GMs like having information. That's like, they love having information, and there's not going to be information on that. So it's probably going to be quiet. Wouldn't be surprised if you see some rental arms and things like that. But yeah, I mean, the Yankees first round pick is a good example. I mean, if he was a high school kid, I'd probably say no. But since he's kind of a college dude who's supposed to be a professional hitter without a position, yeah, bring him through.
That doesn't mean he's going to get called
Have him
up.
and Schmidt go at it every day.
That'd be fun.
Play video games after.
Yeah, have some fun. Keep it light.
Keep it lighthearted.
Yeah.
If someone gets a hit, it's okay, Clark.
No, I want the video games light and on the field just
on the field, just
venomous.
Intense.
Yeah, just crazy.
Okay.
What else did we talk about?
It was a crazy game of poker. Big roll for Sessa again this year.
Good year last year.
Good year last year.
Yeah, man. I don't know. We just covered a lot. It's all. They're not doing expanded playoffs, right?
Not as of now, and doesn't seem like they would change that.
There's a whole bunch of like rules about the health codes. If you're interested in that, players can only come to the game 5 hours early. They have to leave after an hour. There's no spitting seeds. If a ball gets touched by so many players, it goes out. Pitchers will have a wet rag in their back pocket so they don't have to lick their fingers. So many pitchers are going to lick their fingers out of habit.
Yeah.
There's a lot of rules like that.
It's one of the fun combos. I mean, like seed spitting. Is there any way umps are going to enforce that? You doubt it.
I would doubt it'd be umps. I
think that's
would
eyewash?
Oh, I would guess they have like a COVID person in the dugout, not an ump. Let the umps ump the game.
Right, but like say a third baseman spitting sunflower seeds in the third inning, are they going to stop the game?
There's a guy that runs out. I
mean,
Gio!
It's like Joe Madden's dream.
No seeds. I saw those seeds, Gio.
Seeds.
I saw those seeds.
No seeds.
Yeah. Transaction freeze gets unfrozen on Friday at noon, so there could be some action.
Yeah.
You might see, like, some 40-man swaps maybe for the Yankees. Rest of the league, there might be some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Going to see Cano in the DH spot the 6 times we play the Mets, maybe, probably.
Probably for a chunk of that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
dude, everyone's healthy. How cool right now. Currently, like, we haven't been able to say that for a long time.
Yeah.
I know they're not playing, so once they start playing, someone's going to go down. But it was pretty cool when I wrote it out, the 30-man, and I got it wrong, as we're saying now, because I do agree 5-man bench at max for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then go down to 4 right away. But Judge, Stanton, Hicks, healthy. Cole, Tanaka, Paxton, healthy. Andujar, healthy. Gary, healthy. Right now. No Severino. That's the big miss still.
No Sevy. He's out. And that is what it is. No Herman, if anyone is questioning that.
63-game suspension, so he's
done after this year.
Unsuspended after 3 games of the playoffs.
I think wasn't it any suspension this year is it, and it doesn't carry over, something like that?
Yeah, they don't carry over to next year.
So
it's considered done.
Yeah.
After this year,
Ineligible
even if
for
they
the
play
playoffs.
no games.
Oh, he's ineligible for the playoffs?
Yeah.
I mean, they wouldn't bring him up anyway.
Yeah.
People were asking me if I thought they were going to bring him up, like, he hasn't pitched in a full year, and
Yeah.
they're going to bring him up at the playoffs game?
Man, that's Talkin Yanks 2021. Those are the Herman stuff is going to be some wild conversations. I guess, hey.
Dude, we forgot about him in
Yeah.
the future rotation.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of question marks, too. Guy won't have pitched Major League Baseball in
Well rested, Jake.
year and a half, year and 3/4.
I'm so excited.
It's exciting.
So excited. Just thinking about Gardy just hitting a homer or something made me excited.
I mean, are they going to try to, like...
Tanaka looking all gorgeous on the mound.
Gorgeous.
So excited.
Like, do you try to stretch out Chad Green more? Does something like that matter?
Gary with a little head nod after throwing down a runner.
Yep.
So excited.
Cute.
Man.
Very cute.
Chad Green emotionless. Just standing there on the mound looking around.
Loving that there's no fans there.
Kind of like looking at the stadium, taking it in.
Seeing all the ghosts.
Yeah. So excited. Fuck. Did
Someone yell at you on Twitter for saying Chad Green
yeah,
sees ghosts?
Dude, this guy on Twitter, like 5 times said like we bash Chad all the time. I'm like, we fucking love Chad.
Yeah.
All of his relatives tune in and listen.
Chad pod.
And we're the biggest Chad fans ever. He was like, you call him the Goose. Like, yeah, because he's a multiple. No one knows people forget the origin of the Goose.
Right.
Multiple inning pitcher. Goose Gossage. Real relievers go multiple innings.
A bird.
Goose. 4 horsemen and the Goose. Because the others just do an inning. Chad does multiple innings.
Yellow Bill.
Him and a pet goose would be cool.
A well done photo shoot of Chad Green and a goose would sell.
I have them on like a brick bridge over a tiny stream of water. And he's sitting there and his feet are dangling kind of, and the goose is like in his arms.
I've got Chad Green completely naked and the goose wearing a full Yankees uniform.
And Chad's hiding behind him but peeking out.
Okay.
That'd be good. Someone draw him as a goose and we'll put it right here in the backdrop.
Right here.
Just make that drawing. Did we miss anything? I feel like we speeded through that.
We chugged through that pretty good.
How long have we been going?
60 games. 60 goes into 162 2.5 times.
What's your end goal here? What are you trying to get at?
Like how much each game technically matters.
60 divided by 162 is 37. So you're looking for? Each game is like...
Definitely not that.
I tried.
You did try, and I appreciate that. I think it would be...
The weight of each game is what you're looking for?
The weight of each game compared to an average season. I think it'd be 60 divided by 162? No.
That's what I just did. That's what and you laughed at me. It was your first thought as well.
4.3, also not right. So, thank you for listening. I don't know. Do we...
A lot of bad math attempts. Think that way have been the worst one.
When do they start going full bore?
Dude, I think each game is worth like 3 games.
I think it's like 2.5, 2.6. BBD, you're a math guy.
When do they start going full bore?
Yeah.
I think after the first 2 weeks.
I think when you get to 28
When you get to 28 man and then it's like, let's go. What also depends on the schedule, man. Because is the playoff still like the best in the East?
Yeah.
So then those 40 games mean so much more than
Yeah.
the 20 against the NL East.
Yeah.
So much more. So we need to see the schedule, and they need to organize it because they need to dance around the NL East games just a little bit more than like when they play those 40 games against the American League, like that's business.
Yeah, I wonder if you will see clearer punt days because actually, if you remember, we 2.7 coming from the chat. Thank you. Each game is worth 2.7 from compared to last year.
That was 162 divided
Already,
by 60
Jeremy
instead
Marsh,
of the
thank you.
backwards that we did.
But no,
Genuinely
I think you're right. Like let's say there was a 2-game set with the Braves.
Yeah, it's like
if you won the first game,
punt.
Like I think then you'll see a punt game the next day. Like we're not using our good guys. Like this series is already a win for us.
Yo, it might be that way for the Braves too.
Yeah.
Like, we might just be splitting that. Like, those 20 games with the NL East, let's just go 500 there. We need to take care of business against the AL East. This is good stuff. I wonder if Boone's thought about it at all.
I'll ask him.
When is that?
I think tomorrow. I don't know what that is.
Is it tomorrow?
Yes.
Did we pay for the...
No. We can.
Yeah, we need to.
Okay.
It said we can record it. It's like Boone's our guest tomorrow.
I know. So...
What time tomorrow? Because
Teaser.
I have to produce the other show. 5?
Yeah.
Hey. Boone might be on the pod.
We got to have some fun with that. We will have some fun with that. Correction.
Have you thought about how you're going to use the roster?
How are you going to manage this year?
Taxi squad, kind of, who cares, right? Boone? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'll say this.
Say it, baby.
If the taxi squad is playing games against each other, or the not invited jelly beans.
Yeah, the 27 that don't get to go on the road.
30 to 34 uninvited jelly beans. If they're playing regular games at the stadium, I almost want to be at those more than the real life games.
Well, hopefully they do those in the day. We walk over there.
Yeah.
We scale the building, get our
Okay.
binoculars. Have they invented binoculars that can also record? I guess video cameras that zoom? Video cameras that zoom. That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah.
DVD with a confident, you got this. You're going to get there.
And then we'll just relay everything that happened there to the people.
Yeah.
And we'll come back to the office and for the 7 o'clock game, and we'll watch that. What's going on in the chat?
Well, I saw some NL stuff and my brain kind of went nuts for a second because I was like, oh, shoot, like the players didn't agree to this. Like we're going to see a lot of Yankees NL ball, but no, it's all DHs. So I had a brief scare there, but if you haven't been tracking, it's going to be all DH this year. So
Yes.
yeah,
All DH.
I had a brief scare with that. If like every other Yankee series, we're going to see a pitcher batting. So dumb, NL.
That is dumb.
So dumb. That would have been a nightmare.
Injuries.
That's good.
I'm so glad that we realized that the 40 games mean so much more than the other 20. I can breathe easy a little.
Those other series. Can
You
breathe
just
a
go
little-
500 in the other series.
God.
Win 12 of the 20, but win 24 of the 40. And we're there. That's 36.
Yeah.
We're there.
Okay.
Win 25 of the 40. That's the goal. And 12.
25 on the 40. We'll put it on the board.
Yeah.
You had gotten it to 25 when we did that exercise earlier against the division teams.
That's what we did?
25 is the number we had.
Math pod.
We're really good at
Officially
some
math
things.
pod.
And we know how many games we want them to win.
Yeah.
and in 5 different streams
figured
of
it
thought,
out.
we've got to the same place.
So
25 against the...
track that.
Great. All right. I hope they have all kinds of players mic'd up. They said no to that, so I don't think there's going to be any players mic'd up.
So they're...
Jared
okay.
Den said in Patreon.
Continuing the conversation. Yeah, the players mic'd up would be really cool, and that got mentioned. But, and this shows how messed up baseball is that the players, the mic'd up spring training stuff has gotten a good response, that the players are now going to leverage that in the CBA.
Yeah, oh, you like that? Yeah,
for
we're not
when
doing
they
that.
can be mic'd up. So that sucks a little bit. God, I was going to say something else. Oh, they haven't expanded the wild card, right?
No.
Man,
Some people got the tweet, guess this Yankee.
that sucks, dude.
What do you mean?
I mean, 60-game season, the Rays can easily win the East.
I know that's why you have to win
Yeah.
the East.
That's going to be interesting.
You have to win the East.
Unless it's a one-game playoff against, like, a bad team that makes it.
There's not that many bad teams.
Yeah.
Well, fucking dude, the Twins and the Indians.
Twindians.
Imagine if the wild card's against the Astros and the A's take the West.
It could happen.
I don't want that. I want
Houston's trading Springer at the deadline.
I just want them to win the East, Jake.
I know. And that
26 out of the 40.
when we talk to Aaron tomorrow, we should ask him if he's going to take the AL East games
More serious.
more seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, he should. I want to look at the schedule once it comes out. I'm sure everyone does.
Yeah. No, I
know.
could see other Yankee fans thinking that.
You don't think that's just a me thing?
I don't think that's just a you thing.
Okay. We can all look at the schedule together, and we're going to do some more fugazi math that actually works out perfectly.
I want to call us on being half dumb.
Okay.
So when we initially did all of this,
Yep.
or the CBA stuff we've been talking about for months, we said that it was going to be 3 weeks of spring training.
Yeah.
We're a little over.
Yeah.
24 days. Dude, the pitchers have been throwing. Everyone we've talked to.
Yeah. Cole's been at the stadium.
The consensus is everyone's been at 2 to 3 innings if they had to, like, actually go in a game.
Yeah.
I mean, if you add an inning per week, you're at 5 or 6. The Yankees might not do that early season BS we've talked about.
5 and fly? I don't think they will with the
And
top 3.
Like, Cole might be willing to go 100 on opening day.
We could ask him.
Paxton. Hap 115.
Whippy.
It's just shoving.
Dude, he's just so
Perfect
whippy.
game.
You think if I can... So, I'm so nervous.
Sure.
What if the season... I think they're going to open the season up with Yankees, Mets, or Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, if it's Mets, do you even start Cole?
You're scared of a DeGrom Cole off.
What if you go... The first 2 games are against the Mets, and then the next 3 are against AL East opponent?
I think baseball teams think that way.
They have to put more emphasis on the NL East, on the AL East and the NL. They have
but
to.
you also want to get Garrett Cole the most starts possible.
I know, but it'd be shitty to use, Cole, Tanaka, Paxton, 1, 2, 3 opening against the Mets, and then the Red Sox come to town and it's Hap, Montgomery, because the games are weighted differently, and that's not an opinion.
I see what you're saying, but also if you get to the end of the season and a game is on the line and you started Cole game 3 instead of game 1, and he would have been the final game starter, like.
Yeah, but you only can control the rotation at the beginning of the season, so do it then.
Yeah.
I don't. For the record, I don't think they will, because they'll be like,
No.
that shows a lack of confidence in the
Yeah.
rest of our guys. But I would,
Garrett Cole versus the world.
I would consider it.
Open Yankee Sox. I know the Mets has some appeal, but open Yankee Sox.
Oh yeah. I think so. I'm trying to find a soundbite that's just whip, like whip.
That was pretty good.
Oh, you want an actual sound of a whip?
What were you looking for?
A human being that says whip.
Oh,
Yeah.
one of those.
Cool whip. Cool whip. Cool.
Does that work?
It's something.
Okay. Well.
It's definitely something.
That's nothing. That was nothing.
What did I just listen to?
That was supposed to be an old lady saying, "Watch me whip," but turned out it was nothing.
Ooh, watch me whip. Watch me JA.
Yes.
That's how
See,
you
you're
burn,
burning.
kids. That's how you burn, kids. I mean, I don't know how it works, but the wires are crossed up there.
I just showed you.
Fucked my dog
BBD.
on that one. What have we missed? Like, what should we have talked about? What else should we be thinking about? Okay, he's Googling something intensely. I haven't seen this kind of vigor and passion from BBD in a I'm the while. most pathetic man in the world. Turns out I got got.
Did we do the extra inning base runner thing?
No, we
should.
did.
We should.
did.
That's
We
a
did.
very main point that we had highlighted before the show. Good job, David. That's how you produce, kids.
This is fun.
funny stuff, man. We're talking baseball. We're getting loose.
The extra inning rule sucks. Did you see Jim Bowden? What's his name?
Jim Bowden, former GM.
Bowden?
Bowden,
He
Bowden.
tweeted out, what is that?
My phone.
Jake's phone dropped. Jim Bowden, the GM, tweeted out, I saw the extra inning rule in effect at the World Baseball Classic. It was phenomenal. Like, it wasn't. It got
Right.
terrible reviews, and everyone watched the World Baseball Classic, and it was bad. So it's in the 10th inning starts with a runner on second base, no outs. So in the World Baseball Classic,
And they're doing it so teams don't burn out their team. Like this year is not the year to be having 15-inning games. Like, that could mess up a week for you, and this season you can't afford that.
yeah. So how it played out in the World Baseball Classic was the first batter bunts.
Sure.
If they get the out at third,
By the way, sorry to cut you off. We'll just have you start over again because I cut you off, and that was rude, and I'm sorry about it.
I didn't care.
But I think something that's important, everyone talking about these bullpen games and living like the playoffs, the 3 batters face rule is still in force this
No,
year.
I thought they just read they canceled it. They wiped it for spring training. That's why I was confused, because they said they said that they wiped it for spring training, so you didn't have to burn a guy as long as he throws 25 pitches or something like that. I was like, wait. I thought it was inter
Kind of
squad.
dumb, yeah.
So that shouldn't be in effect anymore,
I think it should.
even with not a lot of guys.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway.
that's exactly why.
The extra inning rule, the first batter bunts, either they get the out at third, and then there's a runner on first, 1 out, or they get the out at first, and there's a runner on third. In the World Baseball Classic, that dude bunted. They intentionally walk the next guy, usually, to
Set up the double
set
play.
up the double play, and then you either get an inning-ending double play, and before the run scores,
Right.
or
Strikeout,
or the batter hits a sac fly,
Right.
and that's the go ahead run now in
Run
extras.
out, yeah.
So it really promotes like bad baseball.
A little bit, and
It's sac bunts, sac flies, double plays, intentional walks.
I'll say this: the World Baseball Classic is a small sample size.
Yeah.
And everyone kind of came in with the same game plan. I think it'll also matter, kind of organization philosophy. Who's up? Like, because the batting order is going to stay, right?
Yeah.
So, like, if the top of the 10th, Aaron Judge comes up and Wade's on second, like, Big Boy ain't laying one down. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I think the other thing that's interesting, you can place the base runner. I saw an article, Terrence Gore is in camp with the Giants, and they're like, he just became a huge asset for them.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you see, if teams get to put their speedster out there, I wonder if some teams try to straight steal third and just then you've got 2 shots at a sacrifice. I don't know. I think what you're saying, you're going to see a lot of teams do that. I think you might see a little more strategy come into play. It's not great. I think it's okay for the season. The other argument would be ties, and I just think, if a team has 3 ties this year, 3 times 2.7 is, that's got to be.
You could do a
at
point. You
least-
could do a point
it's gotta
system,
be
but
at least 8.
you could do a point system like hockey, but that would blow people's minds.
It's around 8.
There's
or
no
7.
way baseball fans could handle that.
Yeah, and you just start messing with win percentages, and in this shortened season, like,
But the stats were crazy. 10% of games
Yeah.
go into extra innings, so that's like 400 and something games a season.
math.
But only like 2% go past the 12th inning.
Yeah.
So, you could do a 12th inning tie. But we'll roll the dice with this. I don't know if it helps Wade or hurts Wade. Like, is Wade not going to start now
Yeah, I
because they
think
want him to be the extra inning pinch runner?
Saw BBD tweet that. Yeah.
I love having like a crew. Like, say it's not Judge, say it's Voit or Gardy or
I mean,
say it's Voit or I don't know.
Let's do this.
Bunt in spring training. Do you think that, ask Boone this, write it down for your question for Boone. Will bunting be more of an emphasis in spring training?
Because let's play this game.
Let's
play a game. Okay. Yankees lineup.
Dude,
Runner
I'm
on
so into the game.
Runner
right now.
on second in the 10th.
Yes.
Who's bunting? Judge, no.
No. Stanton,
Stanton, no.
No.
Gary, no.
No.
Voit, no way, dude. Big Luke's not laying down bunts, bro.
Yeah, but he might get pinch bunt for. I could see him
You could
getting
see a PB.
I could see like bringing in Tyro or someone to pinch bunt for him.
Pinch bunt. Didn't mention him on the 30-man. Love him. Guardy's bunting.
Yeah.
Hicks?
Yes, he's bunting. Hicks.
You'd like to think so.
In 2017, Hicks was part of the bunt gang.
Hicks and Voit might get put in a bucket. Jakey Buckets.
They go up to Hicks and they're like, Hicks,
If they get
we
off
need you to lay one down.
If those guys get off to a good start, they're not bunting.
Like, Hicks, we need you to lay one down. He's like, I was thinking about walking. Like, oh,
Yeah,
that
just gonna walk first.
doesn't help us. Sets up the triple play. God damn it.
Okay, Glaber. I don't think he's bunting.
Oh, I think Glaber's bunting on his own.
Really?
Yeah, I think they'd be like, Glaber, you can do what you want, and he'd be like, Glaber's
got
a
one for you.
baseball player.
I've got one for you.
Baseball laces.
They tell Glaber not to bunt. The first time he gets the opportunity, he bunts and gets out on purpose and goes full puppy dog on himself.
He's supposed to get out, not bunting for hits.
Well, he just does a bad bunt.
Okay.
So that he's like, sorry, I just want to help the team. I'll never bunt again. So Glaber actually uses the puppy dog to get out of ever bunting
Glaber's
again.
not that conniving.
Oh, he is.
No. That'd be
He
a
holds
Gary
a
move.
grudge.
Glaber's
Twizzlers.
helping the team.
Okay. Who else?
Judge is bunting.
LeMahieu?
Judge is not being asked to bunt. DJ's bunting.
I don't know.
He would bunt. Like, he would be like,
Well, that's Boone.
it's better baseball. And someone on Twitter was laying down the run expectancy, the expected
There's
runs.
nerd numbers.
Dude, it's so bad. They don't even understand what their numbers are using. It's like expected runs with a runner on second no outs versus a runner on third and 1 out. And it's like 0.98 runner on third, 1 out, and 1.1. It's like, we only need 1.
Yeah.
It's extra innings. We only need 1.
One is
so
the goal.
The difference between 0.9 and 1.1 don't mean shit.
And then I think, did Plouffe mention it on Talkin' Baseball the other day that you might see more teams, if they're the away team hitting first in the top of the 10th, you might not see them bunt to try to put together a big inning.
Big rally, yeah. So that's how it was in the World Baseball Classic.
Right.
So if the home team pitcher in the 10th inning shut him down, then the bottom of the 10th was a bunt sac fly factory. And then do you even celebrate that as a walk-off?
Just
like, what are
fine.
the celebrations?
Yeah. Celebrate good times. Come on.
Swing away first pitch, walk-off bomb.
Yeah.
They think you're laying one down?
I mean, Judge, Stanton, Gary, Voit,
No.
Ford.
No, because they think those
Clint.
guys are swinging away. So it's like you pinch hit Tyro. Oh, they're pinch hitting him to bunt.
Pinch bunt.
Pinch bunting him. Walk off homer.
that.
Bomb.
Urshela's bunting.
Urshela's bunting.
Urshela's bunting.
Dude,
And it's a cute bunt.
no, DJ LeMahieu's
He goes down to first.
DJ LeMahieu's bunting,
Knowing guys kind of get scared by a bunt.
and somehow
That's
DJ
Gio.
places it perfectly like a lawn game,
Yeah.
and he's at first and the guy's at third, and there's still no outs.
Oh my God, Wade trying to score from second on bunts, and that's obvious.
Push bunt.
Yeah.
And Wade's digging.
Yeah,
Oh, like a hit and run
bunts.
push bunt.
Yeah.
We should ask Boone. Have you thought about this? Boone, what have you been thinking about?
We'll ask Aaron.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. All right.
Let me buy the Boone thing before we forget.
Yes, please do that.
Anything else? Yankees baseball. We're excited. If you see
Baseball.
any Yankees out in public, get away from them.
Yeah, don't just rub yourself all up on them.
Well, okay, now I take it back.
Baseball's back and it's better than ever, except it's a little bit worse than usual, but we're excited because it's back in
Times are
general.
tough.
Baseball's back. That was a pretty good remix on the
wasn't
fly
bad.
there. The general, and that I think that rhymed with the word that I said earlier before it. Don't know. All right. I think we're done. I think that's the show. I don't know. How long have we gone, BBD? An hour? That was the most fun I've had in 3 months talking Yankees baseball. What
Proud of
an
you.
absolute blast. We'll see you guys later. Apparently, we have Boone coming up as a guest next episode.
Maybe.
But literally, don't hold us to it.
No.
Because the odds are very likely that it doesn't happen. But anyway, go Yanks. Tell them, Grams.
Go Yankees.